Downloading data from AQS. Say you are new in your program and you want to know what data your predecessors have uploaded to AQS, or you're anybody with AQS login credentials wants to go into AQS and download raw data or quality control data or look at site or sampler setup information. This is how you do it. In the first video, we showed you how to get AQS login credentials. And if you are not uploading data into AQS, if you just want to download data that's been previously uploaded by your organization or somebody else's organization, you have the login credentials that you need just with the AQS. You don't need Exchange Network credentials to just download data. So the first thing you need to do is go to Retrieval, Standard Report Selection, and that pulls up this window which is asking you for information about what report you want. There are tabs here on this window, and the tabs that are in black are active so that you could type something in there. The tabs that are grayed out, you can't type anything in there yet. The first thing it says is, what report do you want? You can click on this down arrow here to see the varieties of reports that you can download, and you can see there's a lot. What we're looking for is raw data that's hour by hour by hour, every data point being a new line. That report is the AMP 501, Extract Raw Data. That will pull up data that is just in the hour by hour format that we want to import it into Excel. I'm going to double click on that, or once you find it, you could say OK, or double click it. I'm going to double click it, and then that fills in that report code here, and then you notice that the data selection tab and report option tabs are now available. One thing to remember about AQS report generation is that you have to tell it if you want the report to be emailed to you or if you want to see it run online. I usually say run online, but you can easily check this box here, send via email, and then that zip file is sent to you as an email, which is sometimes easier, especially if you're working on somebody else's computer and you don't know where their downloads folder is. Sometimes getting it sent to you via email is just easier. I've said what kind of report I want, which is raw data. Now I can click the data selection tab, and that opens up this window that says, okay, where do you want the data from? I'm in tribal mode, and I'm going to click on this down arrow next to tribal code, but I'm going to type in Gila and then find, and that pulls up the only tribe with that word in the name. So I'm going to either double click it or click OK, and then that fills in the tribal code. What I do with AQS is always tell it to run the report before I've put in all the required information, just because I don't want to put in any extra information. One thing tricky about AQS is that these windows, even when they're fully opened on your whole computer screen, sometimes don't show the buttons at the bottom. So this tab here has a button at the bottom that says Generate Report. You could also get to the Generate Report button by this Criteria Set tab, has a Generate Report button here. I'm going to go back to the data selection. Probably going to have to enter something about the dates, but I'm going to see if it gives me all the data that's ever been uploaded from all the sites from Gila River by clicking Generate Report, and it tells me you have to specify the dates. So I just want to look at the data that's been uploaded in 2014. So I'm going to type in 2014 here in the date criteria, 01, 01, 01. I know there are multiple sites, so I'm going to click Generate Report and see if this report gives me the data from all the sites at Gila River, or if I have to specify the site. One of the reasons that AQS is so problematic for people is because it all runs on pop-ups. And you can see right now that these screens open up and they're hidden by my taskbar at the bottom. So I'm going to pull this up into the window that I can see it. When you click Generate Report, it opens up a new browser window, which is completely blank and has at the bottom on my computer my downloads. So what happens when you click download anything from the internet, unless you specify where you want it saved, it's going to save it automatically in your downloads folder. You have to be sure to enable pop-ups for AQS, because this is in itself a pop-up window and you're not going to be able to even see the data let alone access it until you allow pop-ups when you're in AQS. My computer is set up to show at the bottom of this window the file that I downloaded. I actually like to look at files in the folder where they are on my computer and not use shortcuts. I'm going to click on Show All Downloads, and for some reason Chrome opens this up in a window, but I want to open the downloads folder. You can access your downloads folder by browsing, and mine is one of my favorites, so it shows up here at the top of my screen, but your computer may be set up differently. In any case, the files that you download from AQS are going to be put in your downloads folder, so you have to find where that is. So to find the most recent files that were put into my downloads folder, I'm going to click on date, and that sorts the files in this folder from newest to oldest. You can see if you click on date again, it sorts it from oldest to newest. Click it again, newest to oldest. So there's the file that I just downloaded, and you can either double click it, or what I do with Zip Central is I right click and I say extract to, and then you can tell Zip Central where to extract the data to. I'm just going to say extract here because I just want to look at this, and you can see that it unzips into a text file and a PDF file. The PDF file is kind of like a cover page about the report. So if we take a look at the text file just by double clicking it, we could see this is the data from AQS, from the Gila River tribe. This is all the data that's from 2014 that's been uploaded into AQS. You can then save this, import it into Excel, and look for just the data that you want in this beautiful looking file, which is over here, which are the actual values for this parameter, which 44201, I can see based upon my list of AQS codes that I have taped in the first page of my logbook that is ozone. So these are parts per million values for ozone. And then if you keep scrolling down, you could see that there are multiple parameters in this file because we wanted all the data from 2014 from all the sites, from all pollutants, for this particular tribe. So this data then can be very easily saved as and then imported into Excel. And when you import it into Excel, you just have to specify that these pipes are the delimiters. And I'll show you how to do that in the next video.